Hello everybody, this is TechStack here. Um, Today we're starting the episode off with a couple of death points. As you can see, I have died twice. I was building myself a little bit of a mob spawner, an old-fashioned one, like you would build in vanilla. And of course, I died from it. I had my jetpack on, was up there just putting the finishing touches on the room that I'd be killing the mobs in, because I'm trying to create a tier 5 skeleton spawners, the point in that thing up there. I was up in the air and he shot me, one of the skeletons shot me and knocked me off. It didn't really kill me from the fall or anything, it's just he shot me enough times while I was trying to get back up on there that I died. And unfortunately, all my stuff, because I was up there so high, just scattered all over the place, and this is about all I could recover of it. In between episodes, I went mining and found about 7 more diamonds, created a soul shard, 3 of them actually. I had gotten the skeleton soul shard up to level tier 2, I think it was, just from killing skeletons over and over. I did have a Soul Stealer sword. I had another one with Soul Stealer 2 on it that I'd completely used up. Lost my diamond drill, lost my jetpack. So today I'm going to be doing some recovery from that to get back up to speed. The whole point in trying to get a tier 5 skeleton spawner is for the bones. Obviously I could use it for some type of experience grinding too if I needed to, but that's not really the goal. The goal is to get the bones. The bones will be used with my turtle to grow trees at a faster rate than this thing does. I figure I can grow several oak trees in the amount of time it takes for one of these things to grow. My turtle can harvest it. And what I'm trying to get set up is a method of power generation. Turning the wood from the trees into charcoal, and then in turn using that in generators to get some massive amounts of power. The reason behind that is I want to run my quarry that I've got back there digging out my underwater base. It runs extremely fast on just 3 generators with a full stack of coal on each one, but unfortunately it burns through the coal like crazy. So if I can keep that thing supplied with coal, or charcoal I should say, I will have resources coming in like crazy. The reason I need the resources is so that I can build my newest version of the item sorting, storage, inventory level tracking system that I'm going to put in that room up there. So skeletons, bones, trees, charcoal, quarry is all for a storage room. A little bit overkill, but the amount of resources I'm going to need to put in there, I'm going to need stacks upon stacks of iron to build this thing. I think it was like 30 stacks or something like that, maybe more. I'd have to go look again. I calculated it all out. But like I said, today I'm going to be just kind of gathering resources. Just kind of wanted to give a quick update here. Hopefully when you see me again, I've got my jetpack, drill, etc. all built back up, and I'm able to actually use this thing again. I'll show it off just a little bit. It's really basic. Basically they just fall from that higher level there down into this lower level, which the lower level looks ugly now because I had to be able to get back into it to try and recover what I could of my items. But they just fall in there, and then they get pushed into a central location where I can just sit there and smack them with my sword. The point in doing that was obviously so I don't have to hunt down the skeletons and die a bunch of times trying to do that, which didn't turn out so good, but I can save my sword a little bit if I can get them down to like 1 or 2 hits instead of the 3 or 4 it might take out in the wild. So anyway, I'll be back later on once I've recovered, and maybe I can show this thing off in action. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I'm about to make my mining drill here. I just wanted to capture that on camera so you guys don't think that I'm cheating stuff in or anything like that. Not really what I'm into. I mean, obviously I could if I really wanted to. It's easy enough to do, but it just takes away from the fun of playing the game. I mean, if it's something in-game, like that trick I showed you with the blaze powder, that's a little bit different. I'm probably going to avoid doing that anymore. I mean, I've got enough blaze rods now. I got like a stack or so. And I do plan on creating an actual tier 5 blaze spawner at some point using the soul shards. Soul shards mod. As you can see, I've got my jetpack now. Once again. And let's see what we've got in this thing. It's not quite finished. Probably make some more modifications to it at some point. One thing I do want to do is get these torches up above me here, so that doesn't happen. And they're still getting out of here somehow. And you see how easy it is to get hit when you're flying up above this thing. Okay, now we can come down here and start killing these guys. See, they should be most... Oh! Well, so much for that. Skeleton must have done that. Let's try and block this water off before we get a huge mess in my face. And I hope I don't die again. I do not want to have to build all this stuff again. Build it twice is enough. Let's eat before we do die. Ah, he's still there. And then just heal up. I'll be back once I'm healed. Okay, healed up enough. I'm going to be losing all sorts of things down there. All my torches are gonna... All my torches are gonna be knocked out, and then I'll have a huge mess downstairs to clean up. Of bad guys. Come on, heal faster. Whoa. This is not going according to plan at all today. Ooh. Let's see if I can snipe these guys. Yes, I do have some arrows. Just need them to get knocked off. There we go. Let's get rid of the stuff we don't need on our hotbar here. Okay, see if we can kill this water. There. Now my base is somewhat dark. Look at all that water. See if I can hit him on the way up. Oh good, they're all dying on the way down. And I guess I'll be relighting my base here. If you haven't noticed in previous episodes, I tend to overlight things. Oh wow. Just because I don't have to deal with it in here. I had a little bit of a pattern. I do plan on changing the lighting out. I don't like using torches on the floor. But it's just such a large area to try and light that for getting started, that works for me. Once I get to the point where I can make some red power 2 lamps and stuff, I plan on putting them on the roof, or on the ceiling rather. Part of the reason the ceiling's so high. This thing won't stay here either. It was all just temporary. Come on, water, disappear. Oh, okay, is that slowly disappearing? I will be back once I have relit my base, because that's going to be boring to watch, and I'll show you what we're up to next. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that is lit up enough. Luckily, I did have 3 soul shards. You get 3 when you make them. Thought for sure I had another one here somewhere on my inventory when I showed you earlier. Not sure where I put it. But I had not killed anything with this first soul shard. So while I lost my skeleton tier 2, I do have another one here. Maybe I lost my Enderman one too, because I am not finding it anywhere. Wow. That's a big setback. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. So I've got 9 kills on that thing. Endermen are pretty hard to find. Once I get to the end, that'll probably speed up quite a bit on that one. Let's go ahead and go on up here. Show this thing off a little bit, and I'm going to leave this thing set once I'm done. Build up some skeletons and stuff in here. Okay, they're falling in. And just whack them. Okay, got a 2-kill skeleton shard now. I had like 150 kills in my other one, so that's just too bad that it broke. Gonna make some minor changes. I can see the water's not quite going the way I wanted it in there. I want it to all focus right over here, so it pushes them there. I will do that, and I'm probably going to leave this thing set for a while, so I may not record for a while. Hopefully I'll have a tier 5 when I come back if I don't find something interesting, something else interesting to show you guys. Okay guys, I'm back. This is taking quite a while to level this thing up. I've gone through the equivalent of several vile swords here. I've been repairing it as I go, using the iron anvil down there. I did make all the changes to this thing. As you can see, I forced them all to fall into one single spot. I tried different designs here. This was really the best way to do it, just have them fall in one spot so I could reliably have the creepers in one spot. They kept blowing up if they were too far back, or they could see me or get hit by the skeletons. That was kind of an issue. But yeah, as you can see, I am up to tier 3. Got 412 kills on this thing. I do have a Soul Stealer 2 sword, so it's giving me 3 at a time, but the amount of time this is taking is just too much. I want to get on to other things here, and kind of give you some of the tips of what I've done since last time here, or some of the updates here. As you can see, my nether portal I have modified. I've been flying around out here at night, having the skeletons track me and getting them so I can kill them, because the spawner up there seems to slow down a little bit at night, so it's just better to come down here and get them that way. But when I'm doing that, I'm flying around like this, and I might have 3 zombies after me, and I go over here. They'll go through that portal, and when they go through that portal, they are waiting for me in the nether. If I were to go through the nether now, I hope there's none over there, but one time I was trying to go to the nether, I died instantly. There was so many of them there that I just instantly died, and they of course grabbed all my armor and weapons and everything, and then that was quite fun trying to kill them, because as soon as you'd go through you would die. But I finally did it last time around. Let's see if I can show you what's over here on the other side. I think they're all still all gone before let's see here. Good. What I'd done is, you can see I died several times here. I set up a linking book here just inside the nether, and this linking book goes back to my underwater base, and then I have another one that goes back to that same spot in the nether, so I can quickly traverse back and forth from my 2 bases here. Obviously this base is not anywhere near complete, but I wanted to be able to get down here to my quarry quickly. This thing, I tell you, having 3 of these generators is the way to go, especially if you want to use the electric engines like I have. Those 3 generators are quite quick. Once I get my system set up the way I want, I'll have a tier 5 blaze spawner, and that will create blaze rods, or and then I can feed the blaze rods directly into those things. But in the meantime, what I'm trying to get set up is the skeleton spawner set up so that I can get the bone meal and grow these trees. Note on the trees, very sad day. When I died up there that I was telling you about earlier, I did not even realize it, but I had lost my turtle. My friend is gone forever. So I had to make a new one. I did not want to spend the diamonds on him, just because I didn't feel like it. Let's get him to go down and get this thing out of the way. As you can see, the sapphires, I think those are blue sapphires, that's what they're called, work for at least chopping trees, so that's good enough for me. That's really all this guy is going to be designated for. He's either going to be chopping these kind of trees or standard trees, like it said. I figured out why bone meal wasn't really working on these. I think they were just spaced too close together in my original design. As you can see, this guy here doesn't want to grow even though everything else is grown. They do get large sometimes. I mean, look how far this guy sticks out from the, like 5 or 6 blocks there. So 5, 6 blocks for that tree and 5 or 6 blocks for this tree is just barely enough for him to grow. So even this setup here, I mean, if this tree here had been this big, it probably wouldn't have worked. Luckily, a smaller one grew here in its place. So if you're going to go with a setup where you're creating these redwoods, definitely give them plenty of room horizontally here. But anyway, let's continue showing what else I've done. I've created a bigger farm over here. One of my first few videos, I created a small farm over there just to capture the cows, keep them from falling in my mine shaft. Now I've done something similar here, just fenced in a big area, grabbed several cows and sheep. The reason for that is I've been creating books. I need the leather for the books, obviously. Just trying out some patterns down here. But those books I've been using to get enchantments on. That's one of the new things in the vanilla version of Minecraft. You can see I've enchanted quite a few books here. And that's how I ended up with a level 2 Soul Stealer down here. I think I had found or gotten a level 1 on the sword initially, and then I got another level 1 Soul Stealer book, and I combined them on the anvil, and that's what got me up to level 2 there. Very handy to have when you're doing this type of thing with the soul shards. Definitely recommend it. But to finish out this video here, I've created a diamond handsaw. And the reason for the diamond handsaw is I need to get started on that system up above for sorting things. Really want to get it going here so that as I develop it over my other series, the modded Minecraft inventions, I can just go ahead and start using it right up in that room. So I needed the diamond handsaw. The reason I needed that is for the sorters. Let me go ahead and pull one out. Okay, we've got 3 pieces of iron, red doped wafer, filter, blue alloy ingot. I do have an alloy furnace now. Red doped wafer is silicon wafer, and here's where I needed the diamond saw. The diamond saw needs a silicon bowl and the diamond, or the the silicon wafer needs a diamond saw and a silicon bowl. So I need to get 8 pieces of coal and 8 sand. That should not be a problem on the coal side because I have been saving that stuff up like it's diamonds, because it is to me. Okay, there's 8 of that. Sand, got 1 up there. Sand I usually consider pretty junky. Let's just grab this. Turn that into sand. Real fast here. Need to get myself some overclockers on these things. Break that so it doesn't come out, and we'll turn that off so that it cools down. I found out that if you leave them on with something not attached, they turn red like that, and then they don't want to restart. If you do run into that condition, breaking it seems to cool it off instantly. So while that hit the wrong button there. Okay, while that's cooking up, let's see what else we need for this thing. Gotta put that redstone. Don't have any on me. I know I've got plenty of redstone now. The trips I've been doing mining with my turtle and also the quarry going at the same time have really helped. I have more of that somewhere. I just don't know where off the top of my head. You got 8 yet? No. Okay, so the blue alloy ingot is silver and nickelite. Should have those. So, silver. Make 3 of those. Nickelite. Here we go. What else do we need? We make a filter, another red dope wafer, of course, piston, gold, and cobble. Those shouldn't be a problem. Tell you what, I'm going to get this stuff cooking up in the alloy furnace I have up here. And if you haven't used the alloy furnace before, it takes 2 different items and really kind of turns it into one. As you can see, it will take 4 of these nickelite to create 1 blue alloy ingot. So let's go ahead and stick those all in there. Let's see, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that should give us 3 alloy ingots. One more. Come on. Okay, here we go. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and put all this stuff in the furnace, get it all smelted up, and come back to you then, so you don't have to sit here and wait on this thing to cook. I'll be right back. And I'm back. The silicon boule cooked up really quick. I went ahead and slept to kill the rain there, so you guys don't have to listen to that. Going to create these red dope wafers from the silicon wafers. Silicon wafer was just taking the boule and the handsaw in the crafting area and cutting it up. I create 16 at a time, so that's pretty good return. That diamond saw, just based on the fact that from one use it doesn't look like it has anything on the damage bar there. That's pretty good, and that'll last a long time. I think I need one more to do this. I've already created the piston while I was off camera also. Let's go ahead and go down and create a sorting machine then. I think I've got everything. Okay. So the filters first, need the gold and cobble. Got the gold there. I think that was in the center, and then cobble there, and the red dope wafer. And we got ourselves a filter. That's the center of the sorting machine. Iron, blue alloy. Not too bad. Just enough iron. What was on the sides? Oh, the red dope wafer, that's right. And we've got ourselves a first sorting machine. In order to build my new design here, we are going to need several of these things to get it to work properly. One of them will be directly hooked up to an ender chest. That will be the main one that feeds out to, I believe it's 8 different lines. And it will feed 5 items into each of those lines. Then we'll have sorters at the end of those lines that then in turn take the 8 different items, or 5 different items per line, and put them into 1 item per line. And that's really the key to this whole system, is being able to filter down or sort down your items into one specific pneumatic tube, or I guess buildcraft pipe even would work in the system. And then that turtle that controls that line can count that item that's coming to it and store it in the series of chests that we're going to put in this room. And it can track it easily, just by the fact that it always, this turtle will always be cobble, this turtle will always be iron, this turtle will always be sand, this turtle will always be gold, etc. And that's really the key to this whole system. And then the red net system. Wait a minute, is this my other turtle? No, he's just a wireless turtle. Okay. That's really the key to this whole system, is being able to reliably sort down to 1 item per turtle, and then that turtle can count the items that it goes into the system here, maintain it, track it, use RedNet to report it out to various computers that I'm going to have in my my base here, and probably display systems, and that's it. It's that simple. I'll probably have a turtle set up somewhere, or not a turtle, a computer set up somewhere like this that controls the whole thing. It'll monitor the levels, report out to the other computers that display things throughout my base. It will tell the computers, hey, we're starting up, tell me which item that you're tracking so that I know, so if I need cobble I can send you the commands instead of turtle 4, that type of thing. So I think today we're going to call it at this. We've got our first sorting machine created. Going to need several more of these. I'll probably be crafting most of that off camera. What I'll probably do here is cut this, go work on my other video for the remote, or not the remote, the modded Minecraft invention yet this morning, and hopefully these 2 videos will be coming out pretty close to each other. You'll be able to see the system set up working in a creative mode environment where I can explain it all, how it works, show off the code a little bit, give you links to the code, and then we can come back here hopefully in the next, it'll probably take several episodes because of the amount of resources I'll need, start building the system real world in here so that you can understand how it's actually built, piece by piece, and any issues that might be found from creating it in a survival world. It's easy to create things in single player. I'm sorry, not single player, creative mode. When you go to survival, sometimes they don't translate very well. You could create this system using the what do they call it? Interactive. These things here, interactive sorters. But look how much resources you need to do this. I mean, 4 diamonds per interactive sorter. The way I've got my system planned out, assuming this room here is big enough for it, and it probably is, I will have like 40 items in my system that I'm going to track inventory on. And I could expand it to more if needed. But that's where I'm going to start, or the first goal, I guess. In creating 40 interactive sorters would be a little bit extreme. I guess you wouldn't have to create 40 for them. You got 1 input side and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 output sides on one of these, so you would need 5 or 6 of them at a minimum to really be able to do this. So you're talking at least 20 diamonds just for that system. That doesn't make sense to me. These sorting machines like I've built here, relatively cheap. I know they still have quite a bit of an iron expense, and the chests that I have that I'm going to put in there are going to have quite an iron expense as well. But let's face it, in order to track your inventory levels on a computer system in Minecraft, that's pretty crazy, pretty OP, if you will. But I look at it like this, and, in order to be able to do something like this, you have to know how to program, and if that's a skill that you have, then it's okay to be OP, because you're creating the system yourself. Now, obviously, I'm going to allow everybody else that watches my videos and comes across it to go ahead and reuse my code. I'm cool with that. I don't mind. I mean, if you ever do use it in a Let's Play series, I appreciate a mention, just to give me some credit here for creating the thing originally, but I really don't mind. That's part of the reason I'm doing this and putting it on the internet. If I created the videos that show you how to build this thing and then never release the code, that wouldn't be very nice of me. It's just kind of like dangling a carrot in front of you. But anyway, I need to wrap this video up. It's probably getting kind of long. I'm going to, like I said, work on the system in a creative world, and hopefully be releasing a video on showing it off here in completed form. This is TechStack signing off. Have a good day. Bye. And this is my Let's Play series using the Feed the Beast mod loader, and we are playing on the Direwolf20 pack. Today I'm going to be showing off my system that tracks quantity on hand for each individual item that you put into the system. Let's go ahead and start up this. As you can see, the outside really hasn't changed very much, but the inside has. I've been working on creating additional levels here, and I've got a glassed off area there that is going to be